Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Eye2Eye Live. It's our weekly Disney Hangout where we talk about anything and everything that is in the world of Disney, Marvel, Star Wars. If it's happening in that realm, we talk about it here, and pretty much anything in between. It's basically just going here and hang out. That's kind of what it is. And we can all use just a fun hangout time tonight because of everything that's going on in the world tonight. As I noticed, my collar's like all out of whack there anyway. So that's what's on tap tonight. We're going to discuss, obviously, the events of the world and how they affect the Disney parks. Primarily, the closure of all Disney parks at this point. I think over in Shanghai and some of the other Asia parks, they are starting to get back towards some soft openings. I don't know that for a fact, but for those of us here in the United States, we are now feeling the full force of the coronavirus and its effects on our Disney fandom. So we're going to talk about all that tonight and hopefully some other things in between, but we'll see what we get into tonight. But if you're watching this for the very first time, I welcome you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you stopping by to give me a few minutes of your time, and hope you want to stay and hang out some more. And subscribe if you haven't, and make sure you have that notification bell checked out there as well, so you never miss any videos or live stream we have. And if you're a returner, welcome back. Thanks for being here. I see a couple returners as well. Captain Akron's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. And Jeff Hobby says, we loved Stargirl. See, we can all find something really good right now to be happy about, to be excited for, and Jeff and his family have found a way to find some happiness in this time of, I won't call it a crisis, but it probably is on the verge of that. But finding some happiness, and I think there was no better time for a movie like Stargirl to come out than now. We have seen it as well. We have not done so. We have put out a 3 reasons to watch it. It's spoiler free. That is out there right now. I was going to drop a review of it today. Had some upload issues that are now fixed, but it's kind of late in the day, so I was like, we'll drop it tomorrow since you get your live stream tonight. So that's kind of where we're at in this. But as you're coming in here, if you'll do me a huge favor, make sure you smash that like button. And if you feel led to do so, make sure you share it out on social media as well. Always a little more. It's always fun when we have a lot of people here hanging out with us and just having a good time talking about Disney stuff. As I get a sip of water right there. So tonight, I really don't have an agenda. At any point, we can break away from the topic that I have at hand, which is obviously Disney parks are closed, coronavirus, all that kind of stuff. And I'm not sitting here trying to, incite fear or anything like that. In fact, I have a wife who works in the medical field. What I've told people the entire time is that when I'm worried, you should be worried. Am I concerned for what's going on in the world? Absolutely. Am I, at times a little apprehensive? Yes. But I know that we have some very very well-trained individuals in our medical fields, and we have some great leadership around the country, so I feel like we're going to be fine. So that is my little PSA to everybody out there to just relax. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you stay home when you can, and all that in between, and we're going to be just fine. Anyway, so I will try not to get on my my high horse or my, what did they call it? My soapbox. Soapbox, that's the word I was thinking of tonight too much. Chloe has been looking forward to your show all week. Well, good. I'm glad Chloe has been looking. I don't know why. I mean, it's just me. By the way, those cookies were awesome. So that's what I want to talk about tonight is the coronavirus and how it's affecting the Disney parks. And yes, the Disney parks are closed. It's a little frustrating. I can think of a lot of people that were affected because their trips were ruined, removed, cut short, canceled, any word in between. If there's anybody tonight that had their Disney plans canceled, whether you're watching live or on replay, put that in the comments right now. I'd love to know what happened for you, what you had to have, what the accommodations they made going forward. Did you have to cancel? I'm interested in that. Give you a little bit of background for Jessica and I. We actually have a trip planned soon-ish. It has not been canceled yet. But as things continue to escalate in the world and in our country, that may be in doubt right now. So I think it would be interesting to see a quick poll of the room real quick. How many of you, right currently, the Disney parks are scheduled to stay closed until March 30th, I believe, is the official date of the closures. What does everyone, if you had to take a guess based on how you feel everything's going right now, if you had to say this is the date I actually think they're going to open, what would it be? So now let's see what everybody thinks. Is there anybody optimistic out there like me? Is there anybody pessimistic? It's like, I know some things, probably not going to happen. I think it really depends on who you talk to, on what you're going to, what type of opinion you're going to get. I've listened to some podcasts recently about the park's closure, and they have some pretty good inside knowledge in terms of they were former cast members, and so they kind of seem to know what's up, so to speak. So I would say that there is a longer term closure coming, just kind of seeing how things are going right now in the world. I would also say that things are going, maybe things won't get as bad as they seem, but we'll have to see here. Jeff says September 11th. It's a bad date. I hope it's not that. I hope it's not that long for many reasons. It's a terrible date for it, but also that's a long time without Disney parks, and I don't know we could all wait that long. We'll probably storm the gates. Let me back in at that point. Captain Akron says May, hopefully. And I think, honestly, if you were to ask anybody betting money, what do you think is going to be the date that they actually do come back? I think it is pushing towards May at this point, which really does affect Jessica and myself and some family members on our trip. I will tell you this, though, and I don't mean for this to sound selfish or for it to seem like trying to profit off the situation, but in a way, if they were able to open before May, it kind of would benefit us, in my opinion. Lower crowds, people probably not traveling. We're trying to find the good in the bad, and I think that my good friend Lou Mangello, I don't know if I always plug him a lot here. His podcast, WDW Radio, is a great one if you haven't listened to it. And he has a motto that he puts out all the time called "Choose the Good." So I am choosing to see the good in a very bad situation and trying to find some way to be happy during this time. So can anybody confirm out there that the parks overseas, mainly the Asia ones, have they started opening back up? Because I swear that I read somewhere that Shanghai had started soft openings. Maybe it was Tokyo Disney. From everything that I'm hearing over there, it seems like China's kind of on the if you have a peak of how bad it got, they're on the downslope now, and so I think it's appropriate to suspect maybe will take that long. I don't know how long they've been going, but it feels like they canceled about a month ago, and so if Disney canceled right now, maybe a month into this, we might see the Disney parks slowly reopening before things get much worse. I don't know. It's just an opinion that I have. I don't know what you guys feel about the situation. To me, I think it's a possibility because I'm just trying to hope against hope at this point that it's going to get a little bit better over time. I don't know. Maybe it won't. Captain Akron says, I can't what? Oh, you can't see it. I can't check on the thing. I get what you're saying now. So I thought what would be interesting if we're trying to see the good in this situation, what good things could come out of a closed park or closed parks, especially for Walt Disney World. If you guys have some ideas that you think Disney could do right now to take advantage, and I say it feels a little wrong to say take advantage of, but in a way you kind of have to. What could Disney do during this time where their parks are closed to plus them up, to improve, to refurb, to make new, to get ready for? Um, if you're not aware, there's a pretty big date coming up very soon for Walt Disney World alone. The 50th anniversary is coming up very, very, very fast, and it will be here before you know it. I personally think Disney is, if they don't capitalize off an opportunity to start preparing for that, then they are dropping the ball terribly. It's just my opinion, though. I just think that now is the time that they need to be getting really, 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 really ready for that kind of stuff. I just think it's going to be an opportunity to really make useful of this time. Jeff said all movies straight to Disney Plus. It's a good way to think about it. That is something that they could do. I think one of the things they did really well this week was make sure that they do something for their fans out there to display that they're thinking of them, that they are, trying to help ease the trying times that it could be right now. And one of those is releasing Frozen 2 early, knowing that a lot of kids were going home early this week, knowing that a lot of families were going to be stuck indoors together. You can watch Frozen 2 over and over and over and over again. We'll see what happens. It's kind of ironic that Bob Iger, his last act was getting this thing going, and wow, has it become not a necessity. We don't need Disney Plus, but it's become a perk to have that in this time where you can pretty much do anything on demand with Disney movies, Disney TV shows, and who knows? Maybe Mulan now has to. I know they want to make some money on Mulan, but at this point, it's looking like nobody's going to a movie theater to see that, and that's a shame because that movie I think was going to do really, really well. But back towards the topic that I had at hand here. What would you all do? What would you want Disney to do during this time while their parks are closed? What things should they clean better? What things should they get fixed? I think right off the top, I've talked about the 50th anniversary. There's that giant castle that they're trying to paint right now. On that podcast I mentioned earlier, I think if people walk back into that park and it is not completely painted and ready to go, I think there will be a riot on their hands because it's you have to seize every moment you have. They're right now during the middle of the day, they're trying to paint it while guests are still there, and I think right now they can kick that into overdrive. They're not having to work around shows, nighttime shows. I know that there are larger crews trying to paint that thing, but I don't think you have to be in super close proximity to each other. I don't know how it all works. It just seems like they could utilize this time to really, really get things ready for that castle. So that's one thing that I think is a must do. They've got to have that castle ready when it walks in there. And can you imagine if you get to be there on day one of reopening and that castle is that vibrant blue on the turrets, that pretty, pretty pink? It's going to play really, really well for the guests that are going to be there. And I think they hopefully will do that. Yes, there would. I know there's a little bit of delay. I'm having trouble, Captain Akron, realizing what you're posting there on that, what that's in reference to. The castle, getting that done, I think is a must during this time. Point number 2 that I have that I think that they have to get done is figure out what's been going on with some of these rides at the Magic Kingdom, especially, that have been breaking down. Tomorrowland People Mover, it collided. That's a biggie right there. Pirates of the Caribbean, Jungle Cruise, a boat sank. I think right now what Disney should be doing is these rides that are constantly in use and either have to go down for a short-term refurbishment or have to be shut down for a day. Haunted Mansion's another one, so we'll throw that one into the list as well. Every ride system right now needs to be figured out. They need to be right now figuring out what is wrong with every one of them and trying to figure out if something major needs to be fixed or if they can make it a little bit better. I see what you're saying. He says, yes, there would be a fuss if it was not painted. Yes, I completely agree there. I think not having that painted would be a slap in the face to everybody. Kelly Hobby, I'm guessing this is Jeff's wife, says, yes, fix the rides and get further into Tron. The Tron, I thought about that too, Kelly. The Tron situation is so far removed from everything. I don't think that their progress has been impeded by that, by the parks being open or anything like that. I just don't get that feeling. So I don't think you're going to see a lot of expedited things on that one. But stuff like painting the castle, fixing these rides that are broken down, I think those are a must right now, personally. Just my opinion, but I don't think that the Tron really is affected by it. But it'd be nice, wouldn't it be nice if somehow they kicked it in overdrive and said, hey, we got Tron ready for you a year early. Come on in. And that'd be a way to get your ticket prices justified at this point. So that's another big question is, does Walt Disney World, especially Disneyland, do they cut in to their ticket prices that have just gone up? So that's always a question right there. And I think the hobbies are annual pass holders, so maybe you guys might benefit of a lower annual, pass price coming up soon. I don't know. I'm just speculating here at this point. So we talked about the castle being painted, the rides that have recently broken down, mainly Haunted Mansion, Jungle Cruise, Tomorrowland People Mover. 3 very important rides to eat up people there. Number 3, and I got to give credit, and I thought I had already mentioned him. I've already mentioned Lou Mangiello, but WDW Opinion is another podcast that I listen to that they do a great job over there as well. They're the ones I didn't realize they were going to talk about this topic today on their show, but I kind of had planned to do it already and had some of the similar points, so I hope if they see this, they don't feel like I'm stealing their stuff. But this is the time that you need to figure out how to get that entrance for Epcot ready now. That needs to be figured out because you can take walls. If you haven't noticed, when you go into Epcot now, you have to take these special passageways to get around because they've got the entire middle section blocked off with walls and stuff. Take those walls down, go into hyperdrive right now, and just get that thing ready. I mean, you may not be able to get the full structures done, but if you can get the pathways figured out and figure out some way to do complete things to where they can make the entrance a little bit better, that is going to plus it up a lot. I wish we used to be, but not since moving to GA from Florida. I couldn't remember if you guys were annual pass holders or not, but I have every year tried to justify going to an annual pass, and I almost pulled the trigger 2 years ago. And any hope of me doing that went down the drain after they did 2 annual price increases after that. It was just too much. Captain Akron says June 16th, 2021 is the earliest Tron can open. Shanghai has a 5-year exclusive contract. I did not know that. Look at Akron busting out with some knowledge. So there you go, Kelly. That I don't think is an option for you. So, and that kind of correlates. Oh, man, I'm knocking things around over here. Sorry, guys. October 1st, obviously, is the 50th anniversary, which kind of coincides nicely with that 5-year contract falling out there. So, Tron, I don't think you're going to see anything new on that anytime soon. So, we talked about the castle, talked about the rides that need to be fixed. We talked about the Epcot entrance. I think those are 3 things that they can really make some headway, either get done or make some headway on right now. Number 4 that I had on my mind. Paint everything you can right now. There's nobody there. You don't have to block anything extra off. You don't have to worry about crowd flow, the way it looks. Paint to your heart. Can't take it no more. There are places all throughout the parks that don't get the TLC that they need sometimes. Paint. That's all I got to say. To just get it all done. If we get to those parks and I find, if we and when we take our trip, and I find a place that is chipping from paint, and not I'm talking about fresh chipping, but clearly obvious they've neglected this, I'm going to be very disappointed. And I'm saying all this, obviously I don't know the inner workings of Disney. I don't know what they can and can't do, what they're not what they're capable of. But I would really, 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 really suggest that they make that a priority as well. Paint the heck out of all those parks, resorts, everything like that. So number 5, and I'm just kind of going off the top of my head here. Number 5, clean everything, pressure wash. I mean, I guess you would need to do number 5 before you do number 4. So there you go. So let's do like a little flip order there. Clean everything. I'm talking just scour everything. And Disney, for the most part, does a really good job of this. But they can only do so much. And that's one of those things there is just, clean, because it's thousands of people that come through those turnstiles every single day. There's always something to clean in some spots that'll probably get a little neglected from time to time. And then Captain Akron says, and paint some more. So yeah, 5, I'm kind of trying to, is there anything else out there that you guys can think of that they should be doing, they should be focusing on, that they should be really honing in on to try and make sure that they've got things really fixed right now? Because, outside of, I've got another one. So we'll call this number 6. And I'm stealing again a little bit from WDW Opinion, but I'm giving them some airtime here, so I hope they forgive me. Whatever the difference is between Disneyland's Rise of the Resistance ride and ours, figure it out and get it figured. Whatever is wrong with making Disneyland's flow of the Rise of the Resistance attraction is working so well there, they need to figure it out and bring it to Orlando. That needs to be figured out and just bring it home. That's all I got to say. So that'd be a 6th one that I would add there to that as well. I'm trying to think of other major construction projects that they might have. Release more park merch online. That would actually be a good way for them to generate some income for themselves right now. And because people are going to buy it up. No. I think another good way, if they really want to capitalize off of this, is to do some of the things that we're talking about, but highlight them in social media posts, in videos, YouTube videos. Show us what you're doing and realizing how eager you are to have us back, and here's why. Because we've made this better for you, we streamlined this, we've made this cleaner, we've got this painting done, this ride system that you've been concerned about is back in order. But I think those are ways that they can do that. But yes, releasing more park merch right now, I think you'll see some of that. I think you'll see more things released online in terms of video content, but I think you'll also see more options for them to make money. If they have some project at Disney Plus that they're sitting on right now is the time to release it, to get people to subscribe again. I know a lot of people dropped it after The Mandalorian completed, and we'll bring it back after The Mandalorian comes back. But if you've got something right now, having Stargirl there was great. Being in the middle of the new Clone Wars Season 7 is great. Give people a reason to give you some money, Disney, because Lord knows you need it right now, and we all do. But that's kind of where I stand on that at the moment. So I'll move away from that for a minute, but if you guys have any other thoughts or opinions on what Disney can be doing right now during park closures to make things better. We didn't even really cover Disneyland or anything like that. But really it's centered around completing some of these projects that could be, or making really strong progress that are in guest areas, sight lines, Tron not included in that. But I think that's really what they can make some headway on. And another thing, now that I'm thinking about it, I said I was going to move away from it. If there's any more infrastructure projects they want to do or completing, do it. Do them right now. Last thing I want to bring up to you guys, and we've kind of already done it tonight, as talked about Stargirl. If you have not watched it, I would recommend it. It is not like my cup of tea in terms of the type of movie that I really like, but it really kind of won me over with the actress Grace Vanderwaal. She's very good. She's from America's Got Talent. The songs there's some familiar songs in there. There's some new songs, and they kind of get in your head, and I think that's what makes a Disney movie. So this is the first time on Disney Plus where they've taken something and adapted it. The Timothy Failure one, I don't know if you've seen our review for that one. That was not very good. It just wasn't. But this one, I think, is a lot better in terms of the quality, the making it feel like a Disney. They really honed in on the musical aspect of it and made it feel like a Disney film. So if you haven't, go check out our 3 reasons to watch it if you do need a reason to without being spoiled. But our spoiler review is coming up very soon, tomorrow morning. Most likely, since I was not able to drop it today for you all. I'll give you a couple updates on our channel here. Obviously, we're not going to be affected too much by the coronavirus situation. I'm actually working from home a lot now, so I have more time to do some things. We've had Disney vlogs that I've been sitting on forever. My plan is to start making some serious headway on those starting tomorrow, and hopefully you're going to be seeing those rolling out here. We took a huge Christmas trip with Thanksgiving and Christmas trip with some of my relatives, and I know they're eager to see the footage from it. I'm also eager to put it together for them, and we'll be putting that up online here. So we are not going to be lacking for content here. We'll have a trivia night as well. I don't have the thing to announce tonight just because of life and the craziness of it. So if anything else, you'll hopefully be seeing more content from us right now. So I hope we can be that little light for you at the end of the tunnel, that you can find something to laugh at in us. Oh, by the way, if you have not watched we just celebrated our 3-year anniversary of your YouTube channel. If you have not watched the blooper reel I just posted, go watch it. I will say it is some of my finest work ever, and it's because I made a lot of mistakes this year. When you go through and put them all together, it's always funny to watch how many mistakes you actually just made. But there you go. So that's the main stuff that I wanted to bring to your attention tonight. Stuff that we have on our channel. Our schedule should be the same going forward. More content and not really less. And I hope that you're going to enjoy that. And I hope you'll find a reason to stay positive, to find the good in things, and to really enjoy the extra time you might have with your family right now. And just hang in there, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. Be responsible, and we'll all get through this together. And I hope to see you this Thursday night at Trivia Night, where we'll be hanging out, having some fun during some very difficult times. Until we assemble again, may the force be with you, and I'll see you real soon. Bye, guys.